Okay, for number 61, we're going to solve this quadratic. Alright, so I have x squared plus 3x minus 10 is equal to 0. Alright, so I'm going to use the big X method. What two numbers add up to 3 and multiply to give me negative 10? That's going to be negative 2 and 5. So I have x minus 2 times x plus 5 is equal to 0. Set my factors equal to 0. And x is equal to positive 2, and x is equal to negative 5. And that's all there is to that problem. Alright, for radicals here, I'm multiplying radicals. And when you multiply radicals, you multiply everything that's inside of the radicals. So 18 times 6 is what? 108. And d to the first times d to the ninth is d to the 10th. Alright, and it's all in the square root. Okay, so what's going to happen now? I have the square root of 108. Well, let's break down 108. It's going to come from this. 2 times 54, 2 times 27, 3 times 9, and 3 times 3. So I have a 2, and I have a 3. Pull out the 2, pull out the 3. I'm left with a 3 inside of the radical. And now I have 10 d's. So if I have 10 d's, how many pairs of d's do I have? I have 5 pairs. So I'm going to pull out 5 d's. And there's none that are going to be left inside. So it's just going to be 6 d to the 5th, and then the square root of 3. Done. Alright, 48, let's break it down. 2 times 24, 2 times 12, 2 times 6, and 2 times 3. Alright, so 2 times 2, I have 4 outside, and inside the square root, I have 3. Done. Simplify. Alright, I have lots of radicals to simplify here. 2 times 40, 2 times 20, 2 times 10, 2 times 5. I have 2 pairs here, so it's 2 times 2, which is 4 on the outside. Square root of 5. I have plus. Now I have 2 times 90, 2 times 45, 3 times 15, and 3 times 5. So I have 2 times 3, so I have 6 square root of 5. Then here I have 3 times 15, and 3 times 5. I have plus 3 square root of 5. Alright, so since they all have a square root of 5, that's the same thing as if they were all x's, like 4x plus 6x plus 3x. So I'm going to have 4 plus 6 plus 3, which is 13. And then square root of 5. That's all we could do with that. We're done. Alright, simplify. Here I have the square root of 32. 2 times 16, 2 times 8, 2 times 4, 2 times 2. Looking for pairs. Alright, so I have 2 pairs of 2's, so it's going to be 2 times 2, which is 4, and then I'm left with a 2, so it's square root of 2 on the inside, and then I have 4 on top. Alright, now whenever you present your solution, you do not want a radical in the denominator position. So how do you get rid of it? Well, you multiply it by itself. Okay, top and bottom. Whatever you do to the bottom, you got to do to the top. So I have 4 square root of 2 on top, and then I have 4 times what? Well, square root of 2 times square root of 2 is what? It's just 2. Alright, when you multiply it by itself, it undoes the square root. So I have 4 square root of 2 over 8, and then that's going to simplify to 4 goes into 4 once, 4 goes into 8 twice, so it's square root of 2 over 2. Done. Alright, for the next problem, rationalize the denominator. 6 over the square root of 5 plus 2. Alright, in order to get rid of the radical here, I have to look at this whole piece here, and you're going to multiply by what's known as the conjugate. Alright, the conjugate. And when you do that, watch what happens. I have 6 times the square root of 5 minus 2 over. Now I have square root of 5 plus 2 times square root of 5 minus 2. And we're going to multiply. We're going to FOIL. So on the bottom I get 5, because the square root of 5 times the square root of 5 is 5. And then I have minus 2 square root of 5. Then I have plus 2 square root of 5 minus 4. And on top I have 6 square root of 5 minus 2. So these cancel out. And on the bottom I have 5 minus 4, which is 1. And on top I have 6 square root of 5 minus 2. Alright, I'm going to distribute here. So I end up with 6 square root of 5 minus 12. And typically, alright, we put the square root second after the whole number. So it's going to be negative 12 plus 6 square root of 5. The order doesn't really matter, but it may be presented differently on a multiple choice test, so watch out for that. Alright, I have to get w by itself here, and I got to get rid of the square, so what am I going to do? Square root both sides. Don't forget the plus and the minus. So I have 5w minus 2 is equal to plus minus 4. I'm going to add 2 to both sides, and I get 5w is equal to 2 plus minus 4. Then I divide by 5. So w is equal to 2 plus minus 4 over 5. Let's work out both of the cases. So I have w is equal to 2 plus 4 over 5. And I have w is equal to 2 minus 4 over 5. So I get w is equal to 6/5. And w is equal to negative 2/5. Done. Alright, here I have to solve. Looks like it's going to be a big X with grouping problem. Got to find two numbers that add up to negative 13, multiply to give me negative 30. That's going to be 2 and negative 15. Alright, so I take the first term and I break up the second term using the two numbers that I got. Plus 2x minus 15x, then minus 6 is equal to 0. So from the first group, I could factor out an x, leaving me with 5x plus 2. Now the second group, I could factor out a negative 3, leaving me with 5x plus 2, and that equals 0. Now I could factor out a 5x plus 2 from both terms, and I'm left with x minus 3 equals 0. And then I solve, so I have 5x plus 2 equals 0, x minus 3 equals 0. So subtract 2, 5x is equal to negative 2, divide by 5, x is equal to negative 2/5. Add 3, x is equal to 3. Alright, done. What is the slope of the line perpendicular to the line joining these 2 points? What is the slope of the line perpendicular? Okay, let's find the slope of the line that runs through those 2 points. So it's going to be x1, y1, x2, y2. So I'm going to have 3 minus 9 over 40 minus 10. Or 9 minus 3 over 10 minus 40, your choice. So now I have negative 6 over 30, which reduces to negative 1/5. Alright, this is the slope of the line that passes through these 2 points. What's perpendicular? Okay, well I have to take the opposite reciprocal. So the slope's going to be positive 5 over 1. So m is equal to 5. That's the slope we're looking for. Alright, and then for 79, okay, I have to solve for a, so first thing I'm going to do is add 15 on both sides. Alright, then we'll divide by 5. So 3 is equal to square root of 5a plus 4. And then to get a by itself now, I have to square both sides. So I get 9 is equal to 5a plus 4. I subtract 4. So I end up with 5 is equal to 5a. Divide by 5, and a is equal to 1. Now, a reminder, whenever you introduce a square into an equation, you may introduce an extraneous solution. Let's make sure to check to see if this value works. I'm going to have 0 is equal to negative 15 plus 5 times the square root of 5 times 1 plus 4. So I have 0 is equal to negative 15 plus 5 times 5 plus 4. Then I get negative 15 plus 5 square root of 9. I get negative 15 plus 5 times 3. 0 equals negative 15 plus 15. 0 equals 0. That's true. So A equals 1 is the solution. Done.